Welcome to the Bulletproof Screenplay Podcast, episode number 45. Write until it becomes as natural as breathing. Write until not writing makes you anxious. Anonymous.
Broadcasting from a dark, windowless room in Hollywood when we really should be working on that next draft. It's the Bulletproof Screenplay Podcast, showing you the craft and business of screenwriting while teaching you how to make your screenplay bulletproof. And here's your host, Alex Ferrari.
Welcome to another episode of the Bulletproof Screenplay Podcast. I am your humble host, Alex Ferrari. Now, today's show is sponsored by Bulletproof Script Coverage. Now, unlike other script coverage services, Bulletproof Script Coverage actually focuses on the kind of project you are and the goals of the project you are. So we actually break it down by three categories: micro budget, indie film market, and studio film. There's no reason to get coverage from a reader that's used to reading tentpole movies when your movie's going to be done for $100,000. And we wanted to focus on that at Bulletproof Script Coverage. Our readers have worked with Marvel Studios, CAA, WME, NBC, HBO, Disney, Scott Free, Warner Brothers, The Blacklist, and many, many more. So if you need your screenplay or TV script covered by professional readers, head on over to covermyscreenplay.com. And today's show is also sponsored by Indie Film Hustle TV, the world's first streaming service dedicated to filmmakers, screenwriters, and content creators. If you want access to filmmaking documentaries, feature films about filmmaking, interviews with some of the top screenwriters and filmmakers in Hollywood, as well as educational online courses all in one place, IFH TV is for you. Just head over to indiefilmhustle.tv. Now, today's episode is a really quick one. I wanted to kind of put together this small episode, but I thought it was something that needed to be said. And I know a lot of the tribe listening haven't thought about this because of many reasons. So I heard a quote the other day that made so much sense. That you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I wanted to tell you stories about what happened with me and the people I used to hang out with back in the day. A lot of times when filmmakers are hanging out or have a group of people around them, a lot of times you are the most advanced, the most driven, the biggest hustler out of your group. And that to me is the worst place to be because you don't grow. You don't become better at what you do. You need to find people who are better than you, who will challenge you, who will make you take your game up to another level. And that's the positive way of looking at this. Now I'm going to talk about the negative way as well. Now, if you're hanging around 5 losers and 5 guys or girls who are bringing you down, who are negative towards everything you do, you're never going to get out of the box, man. You're never going to get out and you're never going to start the race. Hell, you're not even going to get to the track. You need to find people around you who are not only going to inspire you to be better, but who are going to support you and push you to grow as a artist, as a filmmaker, as an entrepreneur, which is all what you have to be in order to make it in the business today. Those 3 things. Very, very, very much so. And when I was coming up, when I was in high school, I hung around with, good people, good friends, but they really weren't helping me move forward a lot of times. Some friends were, some friends weren't. And same thing happened when I was in college and when I got out of college. I didn't have anybody around me that was really, in a different place. It was that at a higher level, let's say, in the business, someone who would push me to be better than who I was. I was always pushing myself. I was also always hustling myself. And I'll tell you what, when I was in Florida, in a lot of ways, and not always, and I'm not trying to be cocky or anything like that, but in a lot of ways, I was the big fish in a small pond. And a group of friends that were around me, were excellent, and some of them really did push me, but others didn't. And it wasn't their fault. It wasn't my fault. It was just the nature of where we were. We were in a smaller town, and the film business was just not as prolific. And then occasionally I would meet people like Egon Stefan Jr., who definitely pushed me to go a little bit farther than where I was, where he had been in the business for so long and had taught me a lot about cameras, about lenses, and so on. But when I got to Los Angeles, that's when things changed for me, because in LA, you have to take your game up a notch in order to survive. You have to you're being pushed left and right when you're meeting and working with people. A lot of these people have been in the business a lot longer than you have. A lot of people have much more experience than you had. So when I got here, every single job I did, in a lot of ways, these clients were pushing me. These filmmakers were pushing me harder and harder. And that was, I grew within the first 2 years here more than probably in the 10 years that I was in Florida, purely because of the nature of Los Angeles. Now, you could do that maybe in Atlanta. You could do that in New York. You could do that in many other big cities and a lot of other areas around the world that have big film communities. But for me, it was LA. And I just wanted to kind of put that message out there, because I think you guys need to reevaluate people who are around you. And don't tell me about I live with my mom. That doesn't count. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about people who are in your business, who are trying to help you. Now, again, family, friends, if they're not helping you, if they're bringing you down, that might be something you need to reevaluate in your own life. I've had to do that many times with family, and it's not always very pleasant, but I know for me, it works, and it helped me move to where I need to go, especially early on in my career. So look around you and see who is around you. Who are you spending the most time with? What is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Are you hanging out playing Halo all the time, or drinking all the time, or going out and not really getting, not writing, not doing what you need to do to get to that next level, to get to that next place in your career, in your life, in your dream, on your journey? You've got to kind of grow. And when you're growing, you need those people around you. That's why I love masterminds. Masterminds are when you get a group of people, hopefully people who are farther along than you are, so they can guide you, push you, keep you accountable. That's why mentors are so important. Finding a mentor that can push you, that can keep you accountable and get you to that next place. It's kind of like having a personal trainer. When you have a personal trainer, they're going to push you farther than you think you can go. And that's the kind of people you need around you. I'm blessed because I get to talk to these people all the time. I get to have them on my show. I get to talk to them, and they're not pushing me, but they are pushing me, whether they know it or not. Just by me talking to them, I see where they are. I see the path they've walked on their journey, and it inspires me to move forward, and it inspires me to become better at what I'm doing. And who are you listening to on your way home or on your commute every day? Obviously, hopefully me. But but what podcasts are you listening to? What audiobooks are you listening to? What are you doing to take yourself to the next place, to take you that next step further on that journey? And I think it all starts with the people you spend the most time with. And really, you need to evaluate that in 2019. And I hope this message gets out to you guys. And I mean it from a good place. And I want you guys to, I don't want you to break up with your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I don't want you to leave your parents because I said so. I want you just to be really truthful and honest with yourself and find out, hey, what are these people doing for my life? Are they helping me, or are they hurting me? Or are they just, even worse, not doing a thing? They're negating. They're just they're just blah. And they're not doing anything for me. If you want to make it to the next level, if you want to take your filmmaking journey farther down that path, to get those skills up, to push you farther than you were before, then you've got to surround yourself with people who are better than you in those specific areas of life, whether it's entrepreneurship, business, filmmaking, losing weight, getting healthy, meditation, spirituality, whatever it is, find those people. Ask the universe for those people to come into your life. And I promise you, they will. And slowly but surely, you start just releasing and letting go of the negative energy, letting go of those negative people, letting go of those people who are not helping you, people who just want to stay at home and do nothing when you really want to get something done. And I know that is really helpful in smaller towns around the country and around the world, places where the film business is not spewing out of every corner like it is here in LA. But you really need to do this, guys. And I again hope that this message reaches you guys at a good time in your life. And also, I don't care how old you are. You could be 20 or you could be 60. And if you're still surrounded by the wrong people, they're not going to move you forward to where you want to be in your life. All right, guys? Better your situation, better your chances on this turbulent filmmaking path that you've decided to walk down. In whatever avenue you decide to walk down in this business, I really do hope nothing but the best for you guys and wish you nothing but the best. So thank you again for listening. And that is the end of another episode of the Bulletproof Screenplay podcast. As always, keep on writing no matter what. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Bulletproof Screenplay podcast at bulletproofscreenplay.com. That's BULLETPROOFSCREENPLAY.com.